see. Something for you and your family. Make a puppet from things you've got. Scissors and glue, now write the plot. Watch, make, share.
Today on People Behind the Puppets, I'm speaking to Alison Alexander. Now, she's worked with us here at Little Angel on loads of productions. Emily Rising, Red Riding Hood and many, many more. Hello, Alison.
Hi.
I'm Angel.
Hi, Angel. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. Can you tell me, how did you first get into designing and making puppets?
How did I get into making them? So I started as a theatre designer doing sets and costumes. But then slowly every project I worked on had puppets in just because I was fascinated by them. And then whilst I was doing that, I started working here at Little Angel, driving the van, touring.
Wow. So you started with driving the van and then you did some training with Lyndie Wright, one of our founders.
I did.
Did she teach you anything important?
She did. She taught loads of important things, but I think the most important thing was to keep playing, to keep exploring and experimenting, because over the year that I trained with her, we would try things. She's like, oh, I've actually never done this before. Shall we just see how it goes? So it's to keep playing was the most important thing.
It is important to keep playing, I think. Yeah, absolutely. What actually is it that you most enjoy about puppets?
I really enjoy making puppets. It's my favourite thing. And it's just because it's just like being an inventor. So not only do you decide how puppets look, but also like you kind of put the personality into the puppet through like how they might walk or how they might move and like how many arms they might have, for example.
Yeah. I see you've actually brought some puppets with you today.
I have, yes.
Can we see them?
We can. So this is a puppet I made, actually also an angel.
Oh, hello.
Hi. So her name is Maya, and she was from a production about Christmas and an angel in the forest. So there, she's hi.
So what kind of puppet is Maya?
So Maya's a tabletop puppet. So she works on a table and she has a rod behind her. So yeah, she's a tabletop puppet.
And who's this one?
So this puppet here is Mini Caliban.
Oh.
So he's actually based on a design by Lyndie that I made during my training with her. And he's based on Caliban from The Tempest that they did here. So the real Caliban we had in the show was really big. And he was like a miniature version. And when we went to Edinburgh, I took him with us and he talked to everybody in the street to advertise the show.
Oh, I see. He looks quite soft.
He is, yes. So he's made of fabric, actually made of an old T-shirt.
Oh. He's got lovely eyes.
Thank you. So do you.
Oh, thanks. So, Alison, when you're making puppets like these, what are 3 things you need to consider?
So you need to consider the character.
Mm-hmm.
You need to consider how many puppeteers you're going to have to operate the puppet, and also what materials you're going to use. So, because that really affects how the kind of character comes across.
Okay, so more than one puppeteer can operate one puppet?
Yes. So with a marionette, for example, you might have just one puppeteer, and sometimes a tabletop you might have one puppeteer. But if you have a Banraku puppet, you might have 3 puppeteers. So one on the head and the hand, one on the hand and the back, and then one on the feet.
Ah, you've mentioned quite a few different types of puppet, but what's your favourite and why?
I think the tabletop puppets are my favourite, just because they're so complete in that one person can operate them, but they're really hands-on, they're quite robust.
Robust, I like that. Alison, have you brought a puppet that our viewers can make?
I have.
Oh, let's see.
So I've brought this little guy.
Oh.
And his little friend.
2! Wow. So how do you make those?
So these are made from odd socks. So what I did was I took the sock, and this is the toe of the sock, and I fill the body with rice, and then I use some string to tie off the neck. And then I've used a kebab stick and some kitchen towel inside with some tape to make a ball. And then the rest of the sock is tied over tie it over the head, and then the ankle of the sock makes these little hats. So I've called them sock bobs.
Yeah, what a good way to use up your old socks. Not smelly ones, I hope.
No, they're definitely washed.
Lovely. If you want to make a sock bob just like Alison's, you can download all the instructions from our website. Thanks for joining us, Alison. It's been really fascinating.
It's lovely to meet you too.
Thanks.